Welcome to the lads, We Talk TV. On tonight's episode, we discuss the recent events of the latest Game of Thrones episodes. Please be advised that this content may contain spoilers for anyone not up to date.
So Teshi, fan of Game of Thrones?
I'm up to date.
Yeah. You like conspiracies?
Go.
We've
I do
got
like
we've
conspiracies.
got two good ones for you tonight.
Alright,
I
go
haven't
for
seen
it.
this show. I've only read the books.
Basically, Jon Snow just came back to life,
That's
I
right.
figured.
so
Yeah.
that's good because some people were ready to walk out on the show. But it's good. It's all good.
Now, one thing you can probably talk about, Jamil,
Yeah.
is the history behind Jon Snow.
Jon Snow or
Jon
Snow?
Snow.
Don't know Jon
Jon
Snow.
You know
Smith.
nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah, nothing Jon
Smith.
Okay.
But yeah, more to do with his auntie, so to speak.
Auntie Lyanna.
I see. So
And
you're
her
talking about.
history.
So you're talking about how like there's that story, right? About how they like Jon Snow gets actually it's Bran who gets told a story about Jon Snow because Jon doesn't know this stuff because it's like isn't it? I'm trying to remember now. It's that he gets told. Bran gets told a story that Ned Stark went somewhere. It was during the
The
rebellion,
Tower of Joy.
right? And then so apparently he
With
shacks up
Howland
with his
Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently he shacks up with her, and you know this man of honor cheats on her, but it's like, you know, what's that? for real?
No. So the story goes
Yeah.
that Eddard
been a while.
Stark had an affair with
What's her name?
a whore. It was Wyler or something. I can't remember.
Is it Sean Bean?
Yeah.
He Talks to Rob Baratheon about it.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of reminisce, and he doesn't really, engage any further. But the story goes, that Eddard Stark had an affair,
Right.
which goes pretty much against.
I always thought it was sus.
his honourable sort of ways. It's a bit funny.
Doesn't he mention this in the very first season anyway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Suddenly
Yeah.
he mentioned
And
that.
do you
This
remember
is
the
what we're
last
talking
words
about.
he says to John?
Who's John? Who's John? John.
Snow.
Jon Snow.
Oh, Jon Snow. No. No.
Well, he says, when we see each other again, I'll tell you about your mother, I promise. Unfortunately, he gets executed by the asshole king
Yes.
after Robert dies. So, the theory is that Jon Snow isn't his bastard son, but he's his nephew.
Right, with
So-
his sister.
So the history goes,
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Right.
Hear me out. So when Robert's rebellion was going on, when it was after they'd killed the Mad King.
Mm-hmm.
The Mad King had
Couple of brothers.
two sons and a daughter. The daughter is Daenerys Targaryen. The Mad King, his two eldest sons was
So are we talking about the king?
Rhaegar.
Rhaegar.
Rhaegar and Viserys, who gets the golden crown poured
Yeah.
over the top of him.
That
So anyway,
asshole.
Rhaegar,
Yeah.
you don't see him in the show, but he was a real noble, very knightly kind of guy.
The best fighter in Westeros.
One
Yeah.
of after
Next to-
Arthur Dane, he would be probably the best.
The
The one that gets
Morning.
the golden crown.
No,
No,
that's
no,
Viserys.
that's-
He's just a punk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, Rhaegar, you don't ever see on the show.
Okay.
They
It
haven't.
happened
They
in the
haven't
past.
even talked about him yet.
But there was a tournament held before all this, where a jousting tournament where Rhaegar competed and he won,
Yeah.
and he presented Lyanna Stark
Which is,
some flowers for
Sean
being the
Bean's
most
sister.
beautiful
Sean Bean's
person.
sister,
blah
yeah,
blah
okay.
blah. So yeah, Sean Bean's sister.
Yep. Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now she was betrothed to Robert Baratheon. You can see them,
Yeah.
the ex-king.
Yep.
They go to her tomb at the start of the first episode, really,
Yep.
up beneath Winterfell, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
he
Okay,
constantly
yeah.
says, "I wish I could kill him over and over," and blah blah blah. Because Rhaegar kidnapped Lyanna Stark and raped her, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the theory goes that that's not how it went. That she ran away with Rhaegar Targaryen, the brother of Daenerys,
Mm-hmm.
the Khaleesi.
Yep.
And they hid at the Tower of Joy. Well, they hid her at the Tower of Joy, Lyanna Stark.
Yep.
Because she was pregnant. Now, when Ned and Howland Reed went to the Tower of Joy after Robert's rebellion was successful and the Mad King was slain and Robert became king,
And he
Yeah.
killed Rhaegar.
he basically ordered the deaths of all Targaryens,
Right.
including Rhaegar's wife, Ella Martell,
Yep.
who you find out was killed by the Mountain. and her and their 2 children who are also Targaryens.
Yeah.
So the Mountain did kill him. Then you see what's his name? The guy from Dawn,
The Viper.
the Viper. What's his name?
Doran Martell.
Doran Martell.
My
When he's-
name is Thorin Martell.
when he's fighting the
you
Mountain,
killed
he
my
goes-
sister.
Yeah, he says you murdered her, you raped her.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
That's such a
True.
great
That's
chapter
what that
in the book.
refers to.
Which
Anyway,
is
that's a side story.
Kind of like from
So at the Tower of Joy,
Princess
Lyanna
Bride.
Stark is found in a pool of blood. You know?
Yep.
In a bed. Only Ned and Helen Reed survive the little battle because it's guarded by some of the
Yeah.
best warriors.
Yeah.
Okay? So they go upstairs and she's dead. Lyanna Stark's dead. And that's all you sort of know from that. The theory is that she gave birth to another Targaryen because it was through Rhaegar.
So you mean Jon Snow is Rhaegar's
Jon
son?
Snow is possibly that child,
Okay.
which makes him, of dragon blood,
Ah.
So he would be Daenerys's niece. No, nephew.
Nephew.
Nephew, sorry. What do you think of that?
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what,
So
what
that's the
gives it
story.
real concrete is the fact that they introduced Lyanna Stark in the most recent episode,
Yeah.
where Bran has that vision, which is more of a
So who's Lyanna Stark in the show?
Ned's sister.
She's
Ned's
Sean
sister.
Bean's sister.
So
You only see
Bran,
she rides in on a horse and chats to child Hodor.
Yes.
Why would they introduce her all of a sudden?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
and
But I'll go on before you.
and coincides with Jon Snow coming back in the same episode.
Okay.
See where that's going?
Yeah. How do you know this though?
It's in the book.
It's in the books.
It's
so-
what you derive from
But-
reading certain things in the books.
Yeah.
There's one thing that supports and theoretically may pose a problem. In the book, right, I'm not sure if it's ever, I've never seen the show, but in the book, one of the things that Caitlyn, like as in his wife, Ned Stark's wife, always was really dirty about is that Jon Snow is meant to look exactly like Ned Stark. Well, obviously in the show it's different, but he's meant to like really, really resemble him, and so she was always dirty about that.
Well-
About how her own children don't more look like her, but
The DNA from the sister.
oh, exactly.
You know what I mean? So the reason he pretends,
Yeah.
Lyanna in the book says, "Promise me." That's what she says to him. That's all you know. So you assume that she said, "Promise me, to look after my son." Whatever
To
it
Ned
might be.
Stark.
To
Yeah.
Ned,
Yeah.
her brother. So because Robert was having all the Targaryens killed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that there's no rightful heirs, you assume that Sean Bean
Yeah.
bullshitted and said, "I'll pretend he's my bastard so that no one suspects anything."
Yeah.
And I suspect that was what he was going to tell John
And
when
Robert
they saw each other next.
Robert and Ned do have an argument, a gigantic argument about killing children.
Because the Mountain kills Rhaegar's 2 legitimate children
Yeah.
and the Martell
Yeah.
wife.
And Ned wasn't exactly.
They
on board with that.
hated each other over it, but they bonded again over the Lyanna Stark's death.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what sort of brought them back together. So how's that for a conspiracy?
That's pretty interesting.
That's whack, isn't it?
Well, how's that a conspiracy? It's specified
Well,
in
not
the
a
book.
conspiracy, but it's just a cool little theory.
Yeah.
Well, it's a conspiracy because they kept it hidden.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Ned kept it a secret, so
Okay.
they conspired.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you were saying before that, just changing topics, that Melisandre brings back Jon Snow, that seemed like the most obvious thing in the world for me at the end, because, like, she's right there. She's at the wall.
Yeah.
And so,
It was very obvious, wasn't it?
yeah. I
But
mean,
you-
I haven't read that book in
You
ages.
saw in I think it was the second season, where there's that red priest who brings the guy back to life, and he's been brought back to life. I can't remember his name, sorry. 12 times or something.
I know who you mean.
They
I know
brought
who
him
you
back.
mean.
And I was like, well, they're going to do that to John, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
And luckily they
And
did.
he
That
leads
was
that
cool.
company before he dies again. He dies
Yes.
for the last time, and Lady Stoneheart comes.
Yeah.
His name will.
While you think of it.
He's the guy who sets his sword on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
While
we'll
you think
come
of it,
back
I just love how big a head is Melisandre going to have now. She was broken, her faith was gone. She's just brought a dude back from the dead. She's going to be like, right, I got my mojo back. You know?
But yeah. One other thing though that really drives the whole thing with Jon Snow being not Ned's son is the way that Ned looks at him. It's not a look of regret or like you would like, oh, I've cheated on my wife.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at him that way. He looks at him like sorrow. It's a look of like he sees his sister in Jon Snow.
Yeah.
And that's comes across so well. And they must have told Sean Bean
Yeah,
that this is what was going to happen, like,
they
so
definitely
early on.
The
And,
thing
like,
is,
it comes
yeah.
across so well.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out when we watch more of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Do you want to talk about the third head?
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to be?
Yep.
Yeah.
Third
cool.
Yeah.
So can you talk? You know the prophecy,
Alright, so
the three heads of the
No,
dragon.
So Lyanna Stark came back in the last episode, right?
she didn't come back.
No,
it
no,
a
she was in a
flashback.
No,
vision.
it was a
It's
flashback.
talking
of
about-
You know when
Bran.
Bran flashed back to Winterfell and he
It's
saw
a
his dad training with his little brother,
Yeah.
and the girl
Remind
rides
me
on
of
a
this
horse,
prophecy.
and then Hodor's
Remind me
there,
of
but
this
he's
I
like,
don't
oh,
know
it's
the
Hodor,
prophecy.
but he's Willis.
Remind me about the prophecy, Krause.
Well, I don't know what the prophecy is. It's that the three heads. You
Hang
know
on.
when fucking it was the very first king Targaryen. He
What?
had two sisters and they had three dragons.
Yes.
What's the books? Has anyone got the books?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Alright.
But the books aren't.
Well, it's going to be the re fucking.
There's more
It's
three.
fine.
What's
Three
what's the
dragons.
prophecy called?
Can you
I
bring him
don't
next time?
remember.
What's the
I'll
three
borrow the
heads
first one.
of
It's just the
Okay.
three heads of the dragon.
But
But we're going to tell you who the third head is.
Sorry,
it's
three-
really interesting when you hear it. And with some of the
Okay.
backup makes
Get-
sense. Did you want to talk about the Hodor? That's relatively
We'll,
short.
we'll have a chat about that at the very
Somebody's
end.
obviously
Yeah.
fucked Hodor up to say nothing.
We'll talk about that because we don't know yet why. I reckon he might know something and someone did something doing so that he can't say anything.
Yeah.
That could be a thing as
But I
well.
like the idea
That's a
that-
simpler
I like that he
explanation.
walked too blonde.
Yeah. How's that? Do you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I guarantee you, in the next couple of episodes, you'll see Bran flash back to the Tower of Joy,
Yep.
and you'll see that scene.
What the
Well,
fuck's
why
that
the-
Joy again?
Actually,
Oh.
It's just a tower where Lyanna was held by Rhaegar.
We'll just call
Not
it
held,
Tower
it's
of
just
Joy.
where she was protected.
Did you notice that the? I don't know if you.
I hope they show Arthur Dane because he's
Yeah.
meant to be the best fighter in the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's the Anakin Skywalker of Westeros.
Yeah.
I
You know
don't
what I
know
mean?
if did you
Because
download
he's
it, did you?
because there's that
Oh,
fight,
no,
right?
on Showtime.
Where a bunch
No,
of
yeah.
knights go
Jimmy,
confront his other. Yeah.
Did you see the on next week's show?
Oh no, does it actually say something?
I haven't
There's-
seen. I've
there's a
never.
next week's show.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I have not
And
seen it.
It doesn't give too much away because it's already what you're thinking. Well, I reckon it's what you think. But they all of a sudden, towards the very end, so, 30-second little snippet, they show these couple of characters, youngish fighters.
Oh, they reckon they cast a young Ned Stark as well. Was it? Do you reckon it was
I reckon,
him?
well, like, 'cause they
I'm gonna have
showed-
to watch this.
The way they showed it was
Yeah.
like, these people
That's
are
my
familiar.
phone.
They don't cast them as new characters. It doesn't feel like that. You know, like there's like oh, who's this? It's like, no, this person comes in and just starts talking. Like there's no...
Yeah.
Because I know they cast a young Ned Stark
Yeah.
for some reason. I reckon it was
And-
going to be. That was one of the things that led me to believe
Yeah.
they're going to do a Tower of Joy flashback.
So Tesh would have said it then.
'Cause
Have
it
you
had
read the- Have you read the books?
Bits and pieces I've read snippets, but not in a
Okay.
fucking.
Yeah.
They're good books.
Yeah, I really have to get around. There's other Game of Thrones books I want to read, like the history stuff.
Hang on, how many fucking Game of Thrones books are there?
Well, there's the main story.
It's like
Song of
6 or
Ice and
7.
Fire is the main saga,
Yeah.
and then there's shit before it. You know, like there's a history book.
He's done like a graphic novel. For
It's like
example.
expanded
Oh my
universe.
god, so they can fucking
Well,
this fucking train.
Basically, the only world other than fucking the DC and Marvel universe, which are probably just they're probably just above it. Star Wars probably has the biggest fucking. It
You do whatever
spans
you want.
5,000 years and
Yeah.
it's a galaxy. Game of Thrones is probably fourth in line, man. It's a bigger fucking history than Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
I mean, there's probably shit I'm forgetting that could go in between. But in terms of universe size, it's massive.
And it's really
The show
deep.
is a fucking bee's dick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's so far spanned, what, 5 years?
I don't know.
And that's...
Because they talk about traveling the world in other parts, but they kind of just like there's this side of the sea and there's the other side of the sea.
Yeah.
What's that?
Shouldn't we be recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other part to sort of that goes with this is the third head of the dragon. So you've got Daenerys Targaryen. Yeah, she's got her 3 dragons. She only needs one.
Yeah.
Jon Snow
In your theory, yeah.
Well, in your theory.
being... Well, it's not just my theory, it's out there.
Okay.
Crikey, I didn't come up with it. He could be the third. The second, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the third.
Okay.
Who could be an eligible sort of third
So obviously-
dragon rider?
Has to be a Targaryen. So you think there's another one?
A Targaryen, yeah.
Okay.
So, in the episode that just aired, we saw a young chap, well, not young, a little chap,
A young small chap.
sort of be very tame with the dragons.
Okay.
Oh, Tyrion.
Tyrion Lannister. So,
Okay.
the idea is that he's also a Targaryen, that Tywin was not his father. This is like backed up so obviously by the amount of times Tywin says, "You are no son of mine." He hates him. He despises him.
He does.
He says, the gods put you here to test me, because whatever. But there's that sort of story of the 3 dragon heads, which goes way back to the first king.
Right. And this is like from like when the whole Game of Thrones thing starts, right? Because before the Targaryens even come, they're all like separate kingdoms,
Like
right?
200 years before the show.
Yeah.
So before that's all like before it's this big one kingdom, right? There are all these different nations, and what happens is the Targaryens come like from the north, I think it is.
No, the west. No, east.
Oh, the east.
They
They're
come from
coming-
Valyria. Old
Yeah,
Valyria,
they come from Valyria, right? And there's this massive army with these 3 dragons. All the Targaryens are all each riding a dragon, and so that's why it's significant, right?
I think it's Aegon and his 2 sisters.
yeah, Aegon and
And he's actually married to them,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
messed up.
because
But yeah, they intermarried. That's
Game
how
of
they
Thrones.
do
you
it.
know, inbreeding, incest. Yeah, it's the way to go. And by the way, that's why there's a Mad King, right? Because they were banging each other.
Yeah.
Because the idea is that if you bang, they mention a lot in the books, but if you commit incest, they meant to say that the child is meant to be screwed up and like is mentally
More
unbalanced.
chance of
Yeah,
deformities.
Joffrey. Come
Yeah,
on.
like Joffrey, and that's the whole
Clear
point of
example
Joffrey.
of
Yeah.
that.
He was
So
also
because
married.
it supports that whole idea, and that's why number 3 is going back to that. So that's what he's building up to, is that they're going to go back to having 3 Targaryens, 3 heads of the dragon, and it's supposed to
to
be
bring
a play on
order,
that.
to unify
Yeah.
the...
Because they're meant to basically go across Westeros again and reunite
Because
everybody.
technically they'd be the rightful heirs as well.
Yeah.
And they're spread across, aren't they? I mean, they're spread across. Like you've got,
Well,
you
now
got Jon Snow from this side.
Tyrion is now over in...
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's now over in the east.
Yeah.
Is it Essos? Is that the name of the east continent?
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Westeros.
I can't remember. It's
Essos.
been, it's
Something
been
like
a while
that.
since I've read
But they're now separated because Daenerys is with the Dothraki over there.
Yeah.
So,
going
did he
to
reach
the
her?
temple. He reached her, yes.
it. Okay.
But then
And they got separated because of the
the
Harpies
slavers
attack.
took over. Yeah.
Yeah, the Harpies attacked the thing. Anyway, so Tyrion Lannister or Tyrion Targaryen. The idea is that the Mad King, he really, really liked to get under Tywin's skin when he
He did.
was the Hand of the King.
Right.
Loved to torment him. He'd make fun of is it Joanna Lannister? Joanna Lannister, I think,
Yeah.
was his wife.
And he actually emotionally abused
Oh, yeah.
Jaime.
Many
That's why he's so screwed up, and that's why he killed the Mad King, because
Yeah.
he hated him
Yeah.
really badly.
Oh, when he kills his dad.
Well, no.
supposedly.
Jaime Lannister kills the Mad King.
Yeah,
The Kingslayer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why he's called the
that's-
Kingslayer.
because he killed the king.
So this is like they talk about a lot in season 1,
Yeah.
actually. And anyway, so yeah, the Joanna Lannister. Hopefully that's her name. I hope I'm not saying it wrong.
I can't remember.
Yeah, the king would do anything to get. Tywin really helped the king out. He did everything for him, but he was just because he was a mad king. He wasn't all there. He'd put him down. He'd knock him down. Tywin tried to retire a couple of times, and it wasn't accepted. He says, "No, you got to stay by my hand and whatever."
Yep.
Anyway, so one of the sort of ideas, there was some time where the Mad King spent time over in Casterly Rock, and there's also times where Joanna would come to King's Landing.
Yes, because there's actually a story about how Jaime and Cersei, is that how you pronounce it in the show?
Yes.
Cersei, yeah.
Cersei?
Yeah.
They actually meet Rhaegar and not Daenerys, but the other sister.
The other brother.
The other.
Viserys?
No, it's Rhaegar and someone else.
His wife.
Yes.
Ella Martell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Again,
It's a lot to take
And
in,
like
man.
it's implied, right, that that they saw like the Targaryens going at it, like 2 actual
Yeah.
related Targaryens going at it, which is where they
got
picked that all up.
The other thing is the Mad King was very jealous that Tywin fathered 2 perfect children, essentially, in Jaime and Cersei. You know what I mean? Whereas his Rhaegar was sort of different and whatever, and he was just
Bit of a nutcase.
the Mad King's wife had something like 10 miscarriages throughout.
Yeah.
I mean, she had Rhaegar, a bunch of miscarriages or early child deaths, and
Yeah.
before Viserys finally came along, and later Daenerys. Daenerys actually was born after the Mad King was slain.
Yeah.
If the timeline, if I'm right with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea is that at some stage, the Mad King bedded Joanna Lannister.
It's a very polite way of putting it.
Yeah, well, raped.
Hmm.
I don't think she would have done it willingly. And yeah, the result was Tyrion Lannister, or Tyrion Targaryen.
Oh, and that's why he's got dwarfism.
He's got dwarfism.
Right.
I think Tywin knows, but he's too proud to let the nation... He accepts him as his son, and he often says, it's the gods are punishing me for whatever, I have to learn to teach me acceptance or to teach me humility. I can't remember the exact words he says.
So his wife,
Yes.
Tywin's wife,
Yes.
and who?
The
Mad
Mad
King.
King.
The Mad King.
Yeah.
So Daenerys' dad.
Daenerys' dad. I'm trying to picture who the Mad King is.
You
They
don't
haven't
see
shown
him on the
it
show.
yet.
He's dead
never
before
appears
the
in
show
the show.
starts.
Oh.
He's just mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the guy who Jaime killed
Okay.
Yeah.
to become the Kingslayer.
The king before.
So anyway,
Robert,
yeah.
basically.
And Tywin, he's too proud to let the nation know
Yep.
that,
Well, he got cuckolded by
that he
the
got,
Mad King.
yeah, he got done over by
That he
the... by the
too
king.
has a bastard son.
Exactly, and that, well, it's not his bastard, it's his wife's bastard.
Well, yeah.
And that the king would have one over him. He's too proud, he doesn't want the nation of that, so that's his vanity in a way.
Yeah.
So that's
Which
the
makes
idea.
sense why he's always like
Why he's cruel.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea is that those three will team up,
Mm.
and they'll be the fire against the ice in the Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh yeah.
The White Walkers and all them coming down.
Mm.
So they're the big threat.
Mm.
They're fighting amongst themselves for the Iron Throne, but the big threat's coming from the north.
Question I've got for you is that all the Starks, Jon Snow included, seem to be able to bond with animals or
Yes.
with wolves.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if it makes sense that he would have got that from Lyanna Stark, but there's no that ability I'm talking about. But
Jon.
there's no Jon.
Yeah.
But I don't recall in the book, there's never a moment where Jon is ever near a dragon skull, because there are bits like when Ned Stark is the Hand of the King. Whenever Arya goes near a dragon skull, she feels something nearby.
Yeah.
She feels a presence.
Just on that, Tyrion also dreams of dragons.
Does he? Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember he
Yeah,
said. I
he
remember he was
says-
telling a story. He goes, "When I was little and my dad told me there were no more dragons, I wept." I mean, he has that connection to them. When he frees them, he knows they're intelligent beings. He's
he
obviously
makes that-
studied
yeah,
them. He's an
yeah.
intelligent man.
Yeah.
But
He's like emotionally drawn to him.
I mean, if
I get you. Okay,
if
I can see it.
in the last episode he released the dragons and that were locked up below I forgot the name. Marine. Is that the name of the town?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But something that I just remembered now. It's weird. Like Tyrion, Jon, and Daenerys, all of their mums die in childbirth.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. So if it's true, if Lyanna Stark was Jon's
yeah.
mum,
Yeah.
she died in childbirth. Joanna Lannister died giving birth to him,
To
and
Tyrion, yeah.
Tywin is pissed off about that. He says, you tore your mum asunder or something.
That's right. Yeah.
The Daenerys thing, I can't remember if it was. I think it was while she was giving birth. I know she gave birth after the Mad King was killed. But I can't remember the exact circumstances.
They call her Daenerys Stormborn because of the circumstances of her birth.
Were they
there was
on a
massive
boat?
I can't remember. There
Well,
was
they
a
were at
massive
the
storm.
dragon shrine, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
Isn't that the place where Robert's brother is at? That fortress?
Stannis?
Yeah.
Nah, I think he's. No, I think he was a bit south. I can't remember. I don't think it is though.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Because the only...
I thought maybe she was
No.
born at sea as they were escaping across.
that watery
Yeah,
that
that
water
makes
town.
sense,
you're
because,
talking
like,
how
about,
did
where
they
Seth
get
I
there?
Grey
just
is,
don't
right?
remember.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
where he starts.
I don't know the name of that town, but
But yeah, that's really cool connection between them. If all their mothers died giving birth to them, essentially,
Oh, wow.
it's
Okay.
kind of another sort of subliminal connection.
It's so weird because like when this whole show was going on, I've been just kept my mouth shut. It's so fun to actually have people to talk to about this stuff.
And now it's like I love it because now we're like we always copped it.
during
Not from you, but a lot of people would say during season 3, whatever, just you wait, the Red Wedding's coming.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Like I've read the books. It's
Yeah.
like, now I walk around going, oh, not to offend you book lovers, but I've seen the show, so I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of good to flip it a bit because George R.R. Martin is taking his sweet time getting the books right.
Hey,
So
man.
is he on a contract to finish off the last two books, or is he just?
Well, his publishers will want it done because it's Mueller coming.
he wants it done,
But
I'm
he
pretty
has
sure.
spoken to the producers of the show, so they know where it's going, and
Hmm.
they can go from there. And look, it's going to be good from here on. The show almost lost me You know, I was starting to get over it, but dragged me back in.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out more next couple of episodes, I guess.
Yeah.
Eh?
I'm pretty pumped now.
I guess we'll save that for the next discussion.
Bye.